Starting off my esports career it was pretty difficult because where I'm from, it's not really like popular at all. Living in the South, obviously, like it's definitely a different culture. And like my parents had never, even I had never really experienced like esports until 2 years ago. So obviously they questioned it starting out. My dad was my biggest critic. He was pretty much like, I don't know how you're gonna make money doing this, blah, blah, blah. They fully support me now. It was just a pretty slow start. And it's really hard being a professional gamer because it takes a lot. I guess a lot of people don't know it's not just playing hours and hours in your basement or room or any of that. It takes a lot of mental fortitude and mental toughness to get through barriers, because a lot of times people put in the hours and don't really get the recognition they feel like they deserve. I think that's like in anything. Sometimes it's not about being the biggest or fastest, or in esports perspective, it's not about who has the most mechanical skill. It's more about who you know. And I think as time goes on, it will be different for sure.
I'm pleading with you so you listen. Look, this life ain't fair. As I share my heart, I'll bring it right back there. We got some choices to make on the type of people we're becoming. Byproduct of what we do in secret, usually it's stunning. What are you running from? I guess you're hiding too. Cause the demeanor changes when they start eyeing you. I ain't got all the answers, but I know that Jesus is real. And it don't matter if you feel like religion is ill.
That's stupid. I want to talk about that.
Don't shoot though, because then it's going to look like you're going to give up your spot and someone's going to know that you're behind them.
15 damage per shot.
You can literally, you can farm 300 damage on tires.
Yes.
If you wanted to. Anytime you're moving out on foot.
What are you guys talking about?
He said that we're pointing at the most tires pop these days. That damage.
Gotta get that damage up.
You're not, I'm not lying to you.
I would not lie.
You go test it in the game.
I trust you.
Yep.
If I'm being lied to.
Let's talk about Lazarus a little bit. You're here, you're coaching them now.
Yes.
You've got a little bit of a different style of coaching than I think some of the other coaches who are here. Talk to us about the way that you approach coaching.
Well, actually, one of the things I'll touch on since Matron brought it up was how comfortable we feel going into circles that really don't favor us. That's one of the main things that we worked on. Like when I came onto the team, was just basically trying to put together the best game that we can, the most points we can on circles that we know like we don't have priority on and we know are going to be rough for us. So we've been like really hammering down on VODs. I could probably comfortably say we probably do the most VOD review out of any team in the MPL. We put in hours after scrims, every single scrim day. Like we want to win this, and I think we have what it takes. And yeah, we're just really working on getting into zones that just don't favor us, and then, taking the zones that do favor us, just getting as many points as we can and, running with it.
This is what I'm saying. It's going to be very difficult for Lazarus to get in at all on this, but actually getting in on foot is going to be even more difficult because we already know south of this we have Riot Squad and Sonic set up.
Overall rankings, and Lazarus is moving second. They're looking good in second. Tempo in third. Anything else set up?
Trying to get a spray down pretty hard with the nade prime, but look at this flooding by Lazarus.
Oh.
Patron goes down. Zenith are all eliminated.
So already getting some smokes down to block off line of sights. They're going to send it in vehicles. I think Luke is actually going to play anchor here, way off on the west side.
Luke's been playing anchor for Lazarus his entire weekend, and they're sending even more nades through. And Halo's actually going to make it all the way up to the wall. That could be huge. Yeah, stab going down as well. It's just Halo J. He underhand nades that. He's not going to find a connection just yet. Halo's able to avoid that, able to push inside, and they suspect that he's in the shack.
Oh my god, that nade. That nade just came out the window.
Oh my no! Halo J with a good first knock. But it's going to be turned back into Lazarus' favor as he's found out. They go out in 6th place. Should be an easy revive for Uncivil. In the meantime, that all other teams in this circle are wounded severely. Civil finishes off Shrimsy. Pretty Curdy's trying to find an angle on the remaining Ghost players, but he's not overextending. They don't want to give themselves. Oh, actually, let's hear from them.
I'm moving the vehicle right now.
I'm wrapping with you a little, Lucas. Should be a guy close, somewhat prone.
Getting close on you guys' bridge.
Careful. Over here now. Two on that rock. Ghost.
I have no nades.
Anybody made Luke nade?
No nades. This is a double kill.
Does he have nade?
No nades.
No nades. Oh, I do have a nade.
Get over here. Tag one twice.
Coming up on the bike.
There should be two guys to the right.
Cover to you. Good.
Getting nade from the right. People
Nade on
watch
the rock,
Loki.
Sue.
People watch
Nade,
Loki.
Sue. Don't need the rock. One nade. Make it count.
I'm watching Loki. I'm watching Loki.
Give me the nade if you don't even know there. The left is left. Yep.
If you nade the tree in my marker, you get a kill.
Need the rock.
This should
Push Loki. Slow peek, Sue. Slow peek.
One at the rock. In the tree, sir.
Maybe prone pose. Push check. Prone right. Dead. That's tempo. Last guy. Last guy.
At the tree.
Headshot it.
Okay, I'm pushing right.
Taking right. Hit it really well. Good game.
Bomb left.
Let's go.
Calling good game before the game was even done, but Lazarus secured themselves another win, 10 kills, and a well-played round.
Being in first place is it's good, but we still have a lot of games to play, and it's not really much of a lead until the season's over. I think Luke mentioned today you're not really in first place unless you have a 50-point lead, so that's kind of what we're shooting for.
I feel good about phase 3 so far. I don't feel good about today, but leading up to today, we felt good. Overall, solid team play all around, and then just sometimes you have rough days. Every team has them, and today was ours.
You can see how that Sandhawk performance has affected their overall standings, and it's affected it in a very positive way.
I mean, yeah, they're in first.
Yeah.
They are in first. They didn't start off this phase very well. It wasn't as bad as phase 2, but they had to take a little bit to get their legs under them, and now they're in first, trailed very tightly by Tempo Storm, but it's still looking like a very, very strong Lazarus.
4 kills going over towards Tempo Storm as Luke has a push coming his way, going for the spread of 1, and it's just a flood of people. He's not going to be able to get it, and Lazarus goes down in 10th.
He's just trying to find an opportunity. Civ, the fragger, he wants those kills, and Lazarus wants those points.
Wildcard is just patiently waiting. They know he's back here. Near the grenade starting to get prepped on one side of it. Uncivil just has nowhere to go at this point. Is he going to die to blue? Is he going to try to make the hero play? With Lazarus, it's kind of interesting to see how they try to approach each one of these circles.
Nice grenade, but for Wildcard, I think they probably would have wanted to save a few of those. Meanwhile, Lazarus going back at Tempo Storm. I think Sharky was spotted. No, Purdy didn't see him, and Sharky will 2-tap and take down Purdy, and now Zampa's going to get aggro with a quick flush there.
Zampa is back behind the entirety of Lazarus. They have 2 members up in front of him, and this is just an easy squeeze back behind it. Zampa's trying to get the shot, does get the down onto Unsip. Looks back over towards the rocks, and Lazarus is just like that, eliminated.
Coming out on top, 1 weekend left to play. This is it. Tempo Storm. I wasn't kidding when I said death taxes and Tempo Storm.
Yeah.
300 points. Their nearest competitor is more than 50 points behind them going into 3 more days of the NPL. I feel like, I don't want to fully say it yet, but there may be another Storm banner hanging on the wall at the end of this season.
That's got to be what, a 130-point weekend? Well, you said they had 108 before.
108 before.
So that's
insane. Bananas.
I have no word to finish that sentence.
I think I was looking at scores yesterday from phase 1, at least phase 2 and phase 3. I think the highest we've seen from.
Face it for us was I wouldn't say bittersweet because that's kind of like a lame cliche way to look at it. We know that we were 4 points away from being world champions, and I think that kind of stuck with us. Even though like you get second, it literally came down to the very final circle and the very final game for us, and that's how close PUBG can be. It was one of the, biggest moments in my life in video gaming, like history, so to speak. But it's something I'll remember. Every little thing that I could have done, or anyone could have done, I'm sure they remember. It's
So obviously not making GLL Phase 2 was a heartbreaker for the whole team, like no shit. But it gives motivation, honestly. Like you sit at home and you watch the teams that you know that you're better than play in an international event, and it's just more motivation and drive to prove how good we are.
So Lazarus came second at FACEIT Global Summit by 4 points. And me individually, I playing for Atletico, we also came second at a GLL Grand Slam. So we're going to make sure that definitely doesn't happen. We're going to take first place, and we're going to be the best team.
Missing out on GLL was a really big deal. That was the first GLL event I personally have ever missed, like ever. I've been to every single one since it started. As a team, obviously, it was pretty sad because we knew we were better than most of the teams going, and it's just all around sad. It's not a lot to be happy about, you missing out on an opportunity like that. Looking back on phase 2, it was obviously an underperforming phase for us. It brings the motivation for phase 3. We knew coming into phase 3, we wanted to show people that we weren't Lazarus of old and bring the heat, so to speak, this phase. I think we're doing a pretty good job of that. I think finishing the phase in first place would really brighten my day.
Though, I'll be honest, it wasn't 21. I asked for a 21 kill win, but we got to win, so we'll take that.